Hello everyone and welcome back guys to week 3 of our F1 29 fantasy team. Today we're here obviously looking back at the Chinese Grand Prix weekend. Obviously if you guys did miss out on the last one, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. And it's safe to say, you know, we've been making progress so far this season, and I cannot ask for any more than that. In week 1, 86 points, week 2, 145, and now in week 3, 164 points. Not bad going at all, considering 2 of my drivers scored absolutely nothing. Obviously, if you guys are new to this series, basically what we do is we have a look through how well we do each week in the F1 Fantasy. We've also got our own league. You're more than welcome to join it if you would like as well. There is our code. Get yourself in. Almost 250 people now, which is absolutely crazy as well. So I cannot thank you guys enough for that. But yeah, moving on then into the Chinese Grand Prix. Honestly, it was a race of up and downs for my fantasy team. Obviously, it was a good race in my a good race in my opinion. The result was good for the drivers that I like, which is obviously the most important thing. Hamilton came out on top, which I'm obviously a big fan of. Mercedes came out on top as well. Obviously, I'm a big fan of. So is my F1 fantasy team. Look at that, 128 points between the pair of them there. Alexander Albon, I feel kind of got robbed in this one. 10 points on the whole, even though we went from last to 10th place in the Toro Rosso. Yeah, I really do feel he was a bit robbed in that one. Sadly, Lando Norris was killed by his teammate, Danny Capure, at the start. That basically was just Lando's race over. And Kevin Magnussen, you know, has a struggle at the moment. Maybe I might swap him out after this race as well. See if we can try and get someone else in. But Kimi Räikkönen, Mr. Consistent so far this season, once again coming in clutch. 36 points. I will certainly take that one. Thank you very much to Kimi Räikkönen there as well. But yeah, obviously Mercedes and Hamilton, the big carriers in my team. 3 big heavy hitters, actually, to be fair, from this week's team. Obviously with Räikkönen as well. As my turbo still only scoring 36 points. It's not quite Hamilton on 43. But, you know, we'll take it on the whole as well. As you can see, overall points are up to 395. We're just outside the top 100,000 in the world. And there's about 130,000 people overall. So we're just about inside the top 25%, which I will take after this week. You know, that is certainly, well, we are making progress each week. We are getting stronger and stronger, which is obviously the most important thing. Obviously, next time out will be the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as well. Quite look forward to that one. We'll wait and see as to how we fare in that race as well. But yeah, moving on then over to my league, and it's Shunted Tarantulas at the top of the standings, currently on 597 points. A really good job by them. Almost a 200-point average a week so far this season. They scored 192 points from this one. They've got Albon and Norris like me, but he's also got... How on earth is he... Yeah, no, fair enough. He had, obviously, 3 solid drivers' scores. They, you know, pretty much 30 average from those guys. And then, obviously, so what's that? 197 points, I think, between those guys. And then, obviously, 85 from Mercedes as well. The teams seem to be, like, the big points so far this season. Obviously, it's really crucial there as well. As obviously, like I said, he's got Albon and Norris like me. So, you know, if we swapped Hamilton out for Bottas, which I don't really want to do, and then also, who would be our other one? I can't remember who's even on my team now. It would be... Who would it be? That's rather worrying, I'll be honest. Why can't I remember my own 5th driver on the whole? Obviously, we had... Sorry, Magnussen, isn't it, for Verstappen, which, again, would be quite optimistic on the whole. You know, we could score... we could have scored, even, I should say, a few more points from this week's race there. But yeah, 192 points by them. Absolutely fantastic job. They had 212 in week 2 and then 193 in week 1. So that's actually their worst result so far of this series. And they're 43rd in the world. That is absolutely mad on the whole as well. So fair play to you, Shunted Tarantulas there. Turn left arrows still holding up strong. Up in P2 on 591 points there. He's actually got a bit of a weird team there. He's got Mercedes, Leclerc, Bottas, Räikkönen, Albon and Lance Stroll, 192 points. Congratulations to Nigel there. Tyrrell, well, sat just behind him on 589. And then we've got a bit of a gap. Quite a big gap down to Indecisive Liveries. Sat on 520 points. Anderson Auto Swap, 517. And Mercurio Mercedes AMG F1, 515. The top Brit in our league so far. So you can see we've actually got 4 Americans at the top. And, you know, people like to claim Americans don't know much about Formula 1. They clearly know how to handle an F1 fantasy league. That is absolutely fantastic by them so far. Benetton's of crap on 505. Nelson Piquet Jr. on 498. Scuderia Arzani Zolfini Rigatoni on 495. And then Faster Than You on 492 rounds out of the top 10. Tom Raider team, Ambitious but Williams, Albon, Spiker, Katana, Zarko, Notalin, Crazy Weight, God Squad 44, Vital Swiftness round out the top 20 though, those two tied on 469. Big Gears Gullis on 468, right behind them. Looking further down the order, how many points has 50 have got out of interest? 422 is tied for P50. And where are we? PSL has moved up quite comfortably, ahead 410 points. Where are we on the whole then? I'm gonna scroll quite a bit up to 71st. We're making progress. We're now tied with Charles Chocolat Leclerc's, which is, you know, going quite well for myself, that I will take that one. You see we're ahead of, yeah, we're moving up. Considering we were outside the top 100 in week 1, I think in week 2 we were, you know, I think we were 100th or just inside the top 100. Up to 71st now. We're making good progress so far in this series. Have a look further down towards the rear of the top 100. I'm a bit sad, you know, you can't actually scroll further down, you know, you can't get absolutely everyone for this as well. But yeah, you know, I mean, 100th place on 366, we're on 395. We've got a little bit of safety after that one. Where on earth are we? When we look at the top, Grain, Eggs and Hamilton, 200 points from that one. He had Hamilton, Grosjean, Albon, Ricciardo as his turbo. That's quite good. And then Raikkonen as well, obviously with Mercedes, 200 points. A very, very solid job by you, Alec, in that round as well. And then you see, I need to go China again. Tyrrell, well, consistent, always right up there. Actually, you see Shunted Tarantulas are leaders so far. Only got, well, I mean, only in P7 overall there as well. Quite a lot of people tied, obviously, from 1 week's worth of points. PSL did really well, 179 points there on the whole. Andy is Andy. I've raced the Daytona 24 this year with. I got 173. Looking further down the order, where did we go? 46th. We're making good progress. Ambitious but Williams we tied with this week, so I will certainly take that one as well. Having a bit of a look further down the order, we got Papa Kimi there on 155. Very, very close this week on the whole. I think everyone's starting to get a bit of an idea as to what to expect from these races a little bit more now. So you can see at the bottom of the top 100 there, scored 144 points to a four-way tie there as well. So really, really interesting with that one as well. But yeah, props to Shunted Tarantulas, currently up on 597 points. I'm actually want to quickly have a look at the Global League. Who's got the most points out of interest? So look at that. They're already, what, 13 points off the top. Reliant Robin Racing with Mercedes, Raikkonen, Bottas, Verstappen, Norris and Albon. So they actually have exactly the same team as Shunted Tarantulas there on 610 overall. That is quite impressive. 212 from that week. That is absolutely mad on the whole. And then 206 from the opening round as well. That is a really, really solid job by them as well. So, you know, Tim, top of the world so far. Make sure you get yourself in my league, buddy. Where is Shunted Tarantulas? Over here? I think, there we go. Tied in 43rd on 597 with quite a lot of people on the whole there. But yeah, going back then, let's have a quick look through my team as we get ready to move on into the next Grand Prix. Obviously, we did drop 10 points, I think, accidentally from swapping out two drivers last week. I'm going to have a look through, but I'm thinking about dropping Magnussen. That Haas car, nothing to do with Magnussen himself, just the Haas car doesn't seem to be consistent enough at this stage of the season. So we've got 14.3 million. We could almost get Pierre Gasly, but sadly he's just not performing anyway there. I'm tempted by Ricciardo. I feel like Ricciardo could be a good shot, but Perez did very, very well in this week's race as well. But there's just no one really further down that I feel can score good, consistent points. So I'm thinking Ricciardo, but just Renault, lack of reliability so far is really, really turning it into quite a big gamble for myself. We'll go with Ricciardo. We'll slot him in and see how we fare in the next round as well, obviously for round 4 of the season in Azerbaijan. But I think, you know, Hamilton, Albon, Ricciardo, Raikkonen and Norris, we've got quite a solid team going on so far as well. So we'll get that one saved, ready for round 4 of the season. Want to try official daily F1 fantasy? Export your team to the official daily and play for exclusive F1 prizes. Yeah, well, oh no, I don't want to do all this right now. But yeah, thank you all so much, guys, for watching this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well. Let me know down in the comments how well you've done after this week as well. And obviously, let me know where you are currently sat in the league. If you're not already joined, make sure you do so. Obviously, I'll go back over and show you guys the invite link before we end this video off. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well. And hopefully, I will see you guys next time for another video.